Welcome back to Rally del Paraguay. It is the midway point of Saturday, and the battles are rife across the top of that championship table. Well, for a nice cheeky little surprise, I just realized there's parts between my legs. For a nice cheeky surprise, Julian Porter is joining us, and you're going to be taking us through the next half an hour or so of service around the service park. It's good to have you back in business.
Yeah, nice to be back. I mean, being out on the road is good as well, particularly if there's an important day or a day full of storytelling. But yeah, I've been in and around a service area for a little while during an actual working day. And normally it's on a Wednesday when I'm in here, but yeah, it's nice and intriguing battle. We're at Toyota, and just when you in the catering area, hospitality area, all of the drivers sat watching their Ricky videos, sat on, most of them on the same table, but that focus now getting this afternoon and those three stages absolutely nailed on.
Absolutely spot on, and it is going to be a tricky task. There is no Autodroma stage. That was the super special that you've just seen now. It is now into the depths of the big stages. They're going to run again. Of course, early on we caught out the 2M Sport guys. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail. Massively disappointing. We'll see them rerun tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think if they try to run again, that might have damaged the engine beyond repair, and
yes,
then it's just causing more problems. One, they can't run tomorrow. Two, whether it puts Chile into jeopardy, I don't know, but it's just a job you don't need to do.
I think for Josh, that was a huge consideration for them and the team, is that they didn't want to lose the opportunity of here by damaging the engine, and of course Chile, because they're so close together. It's just a week apart, if you're wondering what we're talking about, and nobody is going home in between. Yeah. Everyone's South America adventure continues on Sunday to Monday.
Well, it's this actual service area on this side. The reason why this part of the service park is for our Rally 1s and our Rally 2s is this service park remains until Wednesday evening. And they will re-prep the cars here Monday, Tuesday, load them Wednesday, and then everyone is out on a road transfer towards Chile and Conception.
Yeah, indeed. So it's a long journey between now and getting to Conception. But our focus is on the battles. There's a bit of a Frenchman battle out there, to say the least.
There is, yeah. And can they then bring themselves closer to Calais-Rovanperä? You said about tyre wear. It's nice where we're in the shade. There's a little breeze, but it's very, very warm outside. And a second pass. These stages today, there is the clay base that we had yesterday, but as we've seen in the first one and the third one particularly, there's a lot of loose gravel, which obviously cleaning, that's got a harder base underneath it, which means tyre wear could rise quite a lot. Let's see what they take. Will anyone want to take a full set of hards just to benefit from that, or do they want the performance from the soft? We'll only find out, because I don't want to double
guess anyone.
Double guess anyone, because they have their strategies and their thoughts.
But it's an interesting, thought-provoking question. All right, we're going to get into these interviews. Media Zone, if you're used to our format, has already happened. And we've got Paul King, who collected those interviews. We're going to start with Evans and listen to the top guys that are running here at Toyota.
Elvin, position maintained, but it still seems a little bit of a sense of frustration in your feeling in the car, even though it's very different conditions as well out there today.
Yeah, no, it's true that I'm still struggling, especially where it's more technical. So nothing seems to be working in those areas. But yeah, we're trying obviously, but not really able to find a good feeling.
How different are the conditions out there, and obviously a lot of cleaning out there, which is sort of helping you a little bit, I guess, in that fight with Thierry, certainly.
Yeah, I think that's obviously part of where the frustration comes from. I think we should have done better, especially in that last proper stage of the loop there now. So yeah, we have to keep at it this afternoon.
I wanted to ask you generally, obviously you're still leading the championship, it's your consistency that's keeping you there, but how much of a sense of frustration is there that you're not, certainly for the last few gravel rallies, able to really fight at the front?
It's massively frustrating, but the worst is that you can feel that it's not going the way you want, and there's nothing to, there's no easy fixes for that, it seems, at the moment.
A constant search for that setup sweet spot goes on. Then what can you tell us about how you expect those stages to evolve for the afternoon, because it's still quite a hard base despite that cleaning today? Yeah,
quite a hard base. So yeah, of course, a bit cleaner and should be higher grip now in the afternoon. So let's see.
Well, Seb, it sounds like you've done absolutely everything you could since that setback yesterday morning. Already back up there in the podium positions. I mean, that aside must be a very pleasing sense of satisfaction after yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. After this puncture, I think we maximized everything so far, and that's what we had to do to recover as much as we can. And yeah, this morning again, we knew there would be a bit more cleaning effect every car this morning, and we were obviously not too bad, but the guy we were fighting with, starting still behind us, made our life not easy, but still managed to, I think, slightly reduce the gap to the lead, which means we've been doing a strong loop, and I'm satisfied with that.
You seem very satisfied with the car's base setup as well, but very different stages today. Have you had to sort of be tweaking this very much? You seem to be sort of happy where you are right now.
Yeah, the car is working fine. We play with little adjustment, always try to optimize always what we can do. But I have to say this morning, yeah, I think I was quite happy with the car.
Calais seems to be disappearing off in the distance again, a bit like Finland with the road cleaning effect. What more can you do? Is there more to come? Obviously, Adrian's very, very close now with the first target.
It isn't actually. Like I just said, I think we reduced the gap to him this morning slightly. And regarding the fact that he had double car cleaning the road than we have, more or less, it means we've done quite good this morning. So let's see if we can put some pressure on him this afternoon.
Frenchman first, though. He's
Frenchman first. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, there is obviously Adrian is very close, but still you need to target as high as you can.
Calais remaining calm out there in the lead despite very challenging conditions. How are you feeling today? Are you happier with the handling of the car as well after yesterday?
Yeah, I would say definitely better than yesterday. We made some changes, so the balance is better. Still missing some speed here and there. I think the morning two stages was actually quite okay. Like driving-wise, there is also something to improve, so not too bad. But then, yeah, the last two once again felt that there was not much more to do, and yeah, we always could be a bit faster.
There seems to be so many incidents on these challenging stages for almost the rest of the field, with tyre issues and damage and compressions and things like that. Certainly yesterday, but you seem to be keeping out of trouble. Are there still a few little moments you're having as well that we're not necessarily seeing, because it seems to be very in control considering the challenge of these stages at the moment?
Not so much, to be honest. Only on this first one this morning. Yeah, few times going a bit wide, but at the end, that's what you need to do here in some places with the banks. I think everybody has those moments here and there. So, but other than that, hasn't been nothing too dramatic.
Does it ever get to a position where you have a comfortable lead on a rally like this? Because obviously Ogier's completely fired up, and Adrian's having a terrific rally as well out there, isn't he?
For sure not. If we see Seb is catching us all the time a bit, so yeah, this afternoon can be trickier. For sure, like yesterday, Seb was managing the second pass and the tyre were really well. So I think same for today, it can be a bit tricky.
In what way would they be a bit trickier on the second pass? It's still quite a hard base, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but the tyre wear will be much higher. And yeah, to manage it through the loop and be fast, it's not easy.
Touching on what you said, Julian, about that tyre wear, very interesting indeed. You're now sort of having a speculation about spares. We're going to head over to Taka, who's obviously had quite a fraught weekend already, and then we'll head into where Sami Pajari is as well. Plenty of cars. It's a plethora of Toyotas here for sure.
Yeah, that's it. It's great to see five-car team. It's beautiful. As I said before, what confused me earlier on, particularly yesterday on the road, Sami running an all-black car now, where he's run a black and white one all season. I was like, black Toyota coming towards me with a Finnish flag, that's Calais. It's not, it's Sami, there's two of them. But no, it's okay, it's cool. Just spare numbers, we're just looking around. Obviously, we're not going to tell anyone what we're seeing.
No, and the reason is, obviously, we get that tyre information, don't we, when all cars are black.
Yes. When all cars are there, but what I have seen, and it's not new, but the spare tyres, Toyota and Hyundai, to be fair, they wrap them in a blanket so that you can't see what that tyre is. But Toyota have got where the barcode is for the FIA to scan, they have a little slot so that you don't even have to take the tyre out of the cover. So nobody watching on. We have seen a couple of tyre spies around just checking who's running what. But I just love the detail that Toyota go to just to hide everything. And you said to me, is it really worth it? Psychologically, it just winds people up. It makes it fun.
It's so much effort. If you watch what was happening, because they're putting the cover over the top, then they've got to get the Velcro in the wind to match side by side. Honestly, the effort that has gone in to cover a tyre which you've only basically got a choice of two. And we kind of get already maybe an idea of what they're going to take. But it just shows you how serious the battle is, how much Hyundai, Toyota, M-Sport guys, they're all fighting. They're never letting the slightest of details go amiss.
And I'm interested to see, for example, Taka's got tries to match Seb, whether he tries to go, because he's a bit concerned about it. Can Kalle afford to take another 23 kilos in the spare wheel to give himself mentally that backup? And will Seb want the minus 23 kilos of only having one spare to give himself that I can manage the tyres, I don't need two spares? I think it's an interesting, fascinating one. We'll only know once they all leave and Hankook send us the information, but I do like this strategy. You've got a driver who is leading the rally, who's concerned about tyre wear against one of the best tyre whisperers in the business, as in Sebastian Ogier, who can manage this afternoon on one spare if he needed to.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, and I think we may have seen a few spares lurking around. Now our eyes are with Taka. What we're going to do, Julian, is actually watch Taka leave, and then we'll just have a listen into his interview, which was obviously done earlier on. That gives you the full spectrum of what goes on at this midday point. None of the services today, at least, have been particularly dramatic, but there'll still be a lot to consider on this second pass.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, second pass setup, we talked about it in commentary. A little bit of a higher ground clearance, maybe a harder spring to stop the car dipping and diving under those braking areas. Any exposed rocks that have appeared over the pass of the run, the first run, they're just a bit more protected. It's pretty, I think, routine servicing all through our teams, if I'm honest. Neuville maybe wants to change something else because he's still struggling for grip everywhere, but I don't know. He's in a fight with Tanak. He needs to do something. Is that a setup change or is that a brain change? We don't know.
Yeah, indeed. Now it is going to get incredibly noisy out here. I think for the purpose of that, we'll listen in to Taka and Sammy's interviews that they did with PK just a bit earlier on.
Well, Taka, obviously not in the position you want to be after the issues yesterday, but how have you found things out there? Not good timing to be first on the road here, is it, on these Saturday stages?
Yeah, unfortunately, Saturday is much more cleaning than yesterday, so yeah. But yeah, good running, different type of the surface and more cleaning. Obviously, it's very hard to calculate what kind of pace we have, but still, you know, kind of situation is. I made it myself, so I just try my best to finding the good feeling and set up for the car, maybe for the Chile a bit also, but overall it's quite working pretty okay.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you talk about obviously still learning these stages as well, set up for Chile, but how much data can you get when obviously the conditions are so different when you're first on the road, aren't they?
I don't know, I didn't go Chile neither last year, so 2 years ago memory is not so fresh, and hopefully how the car behaving with this tire, and for sure surface is different, but at least kind of balance and feeling and direction of the setup, we can find something good for the Chile.
How would you expect these stages to evolve for the second pass today? Obviously a lot looser gravel today, but still quite a hard base, is that correct?
Yeah, for sure it will be much easier, especially for me, less screening, but let's see what kind of lines I have, and sometimes it's even worse on the second pass, so I'm not really looking for that, but yeah, like I said, it's part of the running, and it's maybe, yeah, I just need to focus my driving and things. Otherwise, rally itself is very nice, organizing good, and I like it.
Keep smiling.
Yeah, this rally gives me at least happiness, because organizing, itinerary, everything is for me one of the best. There's no doubt.
Well said, thank you. Good luck for the afternoon. Thanks, Taka. Thanks, Hans. Well, Sammy, morning loop done. Always tricky to get your motivation back, isn't it, after such a strong start and such an annoying setback yesterday? How have you been feeling out there today?
Yeah, well, of course, it's like disappointment when you are in a fight and then suddenly, after some troubles, you are not anymore. But still, I must say that we have still the motivation is there. Like we need to still take the things what we can take, and all the mileage with this car is so important. So it's better not to waste it, and just need to take all we can.
How's the road surface been for you? Obviously, you've lost a couple of guys, I guess, ahead of you there. How's the road surface been evolving for you now? You've only got Taka in front of you on the road.
Yeah, it's quite tricky. But okay, it's not a new thing. I have been a couple of times in a bit similar situation. So yeah, it's always pretty tricky in those conditions. But I think the most what I'm now looking at is that like it's not so easy to compare the times for the guys who are coming after. So it's not exactly so black and white what the pace is, what we are doing. Should we do more, or is it fine? So yeah, still trying to do what we can.
Generally, what are the sort of stages like out there today? Obviously very different to what we had yesterday, and how do you see them evolving for the second pass? Because it's still quite a hard base right out there today.
Yeah, there's still some sections are quite similar like yesterday, some hard pace and really fast sections, but also some really tricky, narrow, twisty ones. So also something very different than yesterday, but overall it has been still fine.
Well, there we go. It was sort of the two halves of Toyota there. The guys running at the top and the guys chasing the top at the moment. Sami and Taka just sort of need to make sure they get through these stages now. Super Sunday's where they've got to be looking for.
Yeah, I think they could even struggle on Super Sunday just with the road position that they're going to have. What they've got to do is Sami and Taka is just learn, maybe change some different things like PK was actually saying there, see how things work, see how things don't work.
Yeah.
Learn about that. As Sami said yesterday, running first, second, third on the road, something that he hopes he's doing in the future on a Friday. So when he's leading a championship or doing very well. So he's got to take that as a positive, take that as a learning, because if you just kind of like just bemoan all the time of being first, second or third on the road, you just get into that downward spiral. So I think the way that they've got to do it, it is tough for them first on the road, particularly today. Yesterday wasn't as bad as today, but get through it, don't put it off, don't make any damage, just come back for Super Sunday. But I still think they'll struggle tomorrow with their road position.
Okay, but Ogier made it a fine art in the end, didn't he?
But Ogier, that's why he's 8-time world champion, like Loeb, 9-time world champion. That's what makes them so good. They can manage this situation, you know. They can run first on the road. And Ogier, when he was at the prime of winning world championship, he was doing 2 days first on the road.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, that is M Sport guys, the Toyota guys in terms of where they are. Now we've popped up to M Sport. Obviously, both of their cars are not going to be seeing the light of day today, but tomorrow we hope they will be back out and running. Now, we do have interviews from those guys as well as Rich Milner. So we'll dip into some of our M Sport interviews and then have a chat afterwards.
Oh, Rich, one of those days that's just so sorry to see those guys out there having to both retire very quickly within each other in similar incidents, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably exactly the same place for both cars. There's a piece of bedrock before a chicane, which they both hit fairly heavily, and it's broken the oil pump on the engines. So, I mean, it's nothing you can fix while you're out on the stages. So, sadly, a double retirement, which is the worst thing you can ask for. And, such a shame for Josh after a really strong day yesterday. So, feel very deflated at the moment, but, it's part of the game sometimes.
It sometimes seems even harsher to take, doesn't it, with so much effort goes on the team and travelling such a long way. It's almost a double whammy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're coming to a rally that's unknown for everybody, and although the majority of the rally looks quite nice, there's some real tough spots like the compressions that we saw yesterday, and these pieces of bedrock that just don't move. We've learned some lessons the hard way, but we got some valuable stuff for if we come back again next year. But it's just disappointing today to be in this position.
But in terms of that sump protection, that's not anything you sort of change, is it? It's just bad luck of where it's hit it on that point, or?
There's potentially some setup changes we could make to protect the car a bit more. But you make your setup based on what you feel globally for that loop is going to be best, and whilst trying to balance it with the most performance. You can make a bulletproof car that's impossible to break, but it won't be very fast. So it's finding that compromise in between, and maybe we pushed it a little bit too hard on the limits. But honestly, we were not trying to push to the absolutes, because we wanted to get to the end, and we wanted the guys to get the mileage and learn the rally. And just this one area seems to have caught us out. I think it could be the same area that Diego Dominguez had an issue as well. And just speaking to a couple of other drivers there, they also had some heavy impacts on that one piece of bedrock. So we'll wait now till we get the footage from you guys for all the other cars, and we can have a look and see if there's anything that the others had as well. But sadly, not a lot we can do now. We can't change what's happened. We just need to repair the cars, get through tomorrow, because obviously very short space of time before we need these same cars again in Chile.
Thanks for your time. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, okay, so that was just Rich Milner there. We spoke to Josh earlier, and I think Greg's probably gone and taken some shade for the day. It's a tough place for Rich to be in because, yeah, they made a setup choice, as everybody else does, but perhaps the setup choice could have been slightly different, basically.
Yeah, just listening to it, we weren't sure. We talked about it in commentary, whether it was... whether they went softer to get a bit more traction because they were further up on the road. So you need that car softer so it can... But when you brake, the front of the car dips down.
And that's exactly what happened.
It seems that's exactly what's happened. They've just hit the brakes at the same point of this, a step or a raised bit, and they've just straight into it. It's so unlucky, but for both cars. Greg actually did manage the next stage, I think, from what I can remember. He did manage the next one, but he had a starter motor issue. So was that kind of all... The impact was related, maybe. I don't know, but anyway, they're not out today, so...
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happened here at M Sport. But Hyundai are fighting for the places out there. It's Adrian Formeau, Sebastian Ogier battle as well. But how does Thierry feel this morning has gone, and what's he up to for the afternoon? Let's listen in.
Well, Thierry, very different stages out there today, but judging from your end of stage comments, the sooner you find something, the next stage you sort of lose it again. It seems to be a bit frustrating out there for you.
Yeah, difficult morning, obviously. Bit of cleaning in there. We are losing each stage one car in front of us, so that didn't help. But generally, yeah, still same struggle. I felt like the driving was quite okay, but just we do not have the performance. The speed is not coming naturally, and I'm fighting the car. But at the end, I think it was a decent run. Just with the cleaning, there was not much more we could do.
So obviously Elvin's your closest target, so you're saying that there's no sort of sweet spot, it is every single passing car is still worse, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were able to somehow set similar times than Elvin, but he catched that little time he catched it back on the last one. So overall, yeah, we are still within the fight with Elvin, and the cars behind will be faster, and they will be faster this afternoon as well.
And of course, is it the sort of stages then out there in the afternoon where you're able to continue to take that fight? Because it's quite a hard base, isn't it? Maybe not so much ruts like we get on a normal gravel road.
Yeah, I don't think there will be much ruts. There will be still some loose in the technical section. But overall, we will give it a try. I mean, we have Oid not far behind and Elfin just in front. So any position we can catch, we're going to try to catch.
Yeah, and I guess like Seb yesterday, with Oid driving a bit angry, that's quite a dangerous prospect as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and they are definitely faster than us. Seems like they found a sweet spot where everything is working, which we didn't. Despite trying many different settings, we just don't get it.
Oh, a bit like yesterday, you sort of make one big advance and then a massive setback again. I mean, talk us through that morning. It must be so frustrating having got yourself up to second place like that.
Yeah, basically, one unfortunate stage. Obviously, picked up a puncture and had to do quite a long distance, so lost a lot of time there. And after that, obviously, without spare, we still wanted to come back, you know. So.
Generally, though, when you don't have an issue, you seem to have found some sort of sweet spot with the car setup. Is that fair to say? Whereas, obviously, Thierry seems to be really struggling with his. When everything's working, how good is it feeling right now on the loose surfaces?
Yeah, to be honest, not so good. It's still quite demanding, quite tricky. So, yeah, we've been able to mask a bit, you know. So, in the very high speed, we can manage. But yeah, we could see that when it's a bit more demanding or twisty, and so let's say it's not so natural, and like this it's very difficult to do like top times, but let's say we just try our best.
A bit like Seb yesterday, I think you had about 36 seconds or so to make up the difference being. You've got a day less to do it in. What's your sort of realistic targets now? I guess fourth place certainly looks doable. What are you aiming for as you look ahead to the next day and a half?
Yeah, I think we hope we can manage still with Elvin and Thierry, so at least put some pressure on and minimum to stay close, because tomorrow is also a long day. So yeah, let's see how this afternoon works out, and hopefully we still can find some pace.
Look forward to watching it. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Henry. Adrian, the fight continues then, still there in second place just about. It's been another tricky morning out there, hasn't it, today?
To be fair, it's been an okay morning for me. I'm just losing a bit of time every time in the stages. It's 2-3 seconds, but every time he's catching a little bit. So I will try something else maybe on the setup for the second pass to see if we can improve a bit the pace because I think I'm doing quite well on driving, but the time is not really there. And also we are losing also. I would say we are there on the pace, but then one or two splits we lose quite a lot of time. So we need to understand why in those places we lose time.
What is the difference then from yesterday to today in terms of the nature of the stages? Because obviously very, very comfortable and leading comfortably for a while yesterday.
I would say the stages are a bit more flat out, so you need a lot of commitment, but also I have to admit that I'm a bit scared to get another puncture again. So every time in the lines I try to stay a bit away of the apex of the corner to make sure there is no rock, but also on the outside. But it can make also that some time lost that I lose a bit of commitment globally. So many times also when I see rocks I really slow down, try to go through that. And the gaps are so small that if you don't care and you push, then you can make gaps. So maybe I should not take care and just flat out. But yesterday I had 2 punctures already, so I don't want the same.
And how much does it change, or does it change your tactical approach when obviously you had Oyt Tanak, your teammate there, so close, and you know in a two-man fight for podium with Hyundai, does that change things a little bit as well?
I just try to do my best all the time, and I do my own job, and I will see where I am tonight. Maybe we can find some good setup and we can be on the pace of Seb. Yeah, for sure. For Calais now it's quite far. We need a mistake for him or puncture, but you know it's still quite open. The gaps are really small anyway, so we'll see also how the tires last for the afternoon.
And I'm sure as a kid, was Ogier one of your sort of heroes as you were growing up? Is it fun? Do you have to pinch yourself sometimes, finding yourself in a fight just half a second between you and the 8-time champ?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it's nice to have a fight with Seb, but I would like to keep him behind.
Well said.
Oh, and the gap between the two of them is so marginal as well. The Frenchman will battle it out this afternoon. But Sébastien Ogier seems to have just got the knack of what's going on out there.
It's called experience. That's what it is. He's got a lot of experience. And as Bex mentioned in commentary, also that persona that Ogier gives off. Road sections, we see it. He wanders around the cars of his rivals, looking at the tyres. Just kind of like psychologically, mind games he's very good at, as well as being one of the best drivers possible. But what can Oyt Tanak do? He's just less than 10 seconds away from Evans.
Yes.
Then there's Thierry Neuville. Then there's Oyt Tanak. Oyt said to Emir at the end of the previous stage, Evans is our target. So let's see what this afternoon brings for them.
In terms of the standings at the moment, but also in that overall championship standing, if Oyt can take more out of Evans, Calais out in front, it drops Evans quite heavily back because he's only 3 points clear and 13 points clear of Oyt as well. So there is a raging battle in both aspects of the weekend.
Yeah, it's great. I love the fact that the fact we got 4 guys in that championship fight and
yes.
13 points between them. In theory, we could do it for us neutrals wanting it to go all the way. We could do with Oyt winning. We could do the championship order completely reversing the overall classification. Could you imagine that? They'd all go to the final round very, very close. But yeah, Oyt thinks he can make a couple of places up, which then potentially shocks Neuville out of the situation as Oyt gets himself in and wets out. Foremost car routine service, nice and clean. Have they fixed the wipers? Have they fixed the wipers?
I mean, I don't know what the fix actually is. They did change the blade on the wipers. I'm pretty sure that's not the problem, but it'll be.
I don't know whether it's the sweep, you know, when it goes like this, or in a left-hand drive car, it's going like that. And is it getting caught on the A pillar and then it can't come back? I don't know.
The Wipergate will continue. Well, hopefully not for Oyt Tanak, but we will obviously see whether the situation has been resolved or not. All right, well, we've got about half an hour between this point now and into the next stage of the day. Julian, conditions out there, what do you think?
I don't. Really challenging, I still think, because we're going to see something different to yesterday because of this road evolution, particularly with the sweeping bit in the end of the first one and the end of the third one.
Okay, well, we are going to say goodbye from the service. Like I said, a quick half an hour break. We'll see you on the other side of this for the first of the action in the afternoon.